Hello.
And welcome to FridgeCam.
If you eat food, or even if you don't, then this is the show for you.
Coming up in the show today, the chefs from our chef's table, no apostrophe, no lawsuit, answer all your chocolatey questions.
Ben loses his temper with chocolate.
But first,
me with my squeaky shoes, Mike with his red t-shirt, and Barry with his empty brain go head to head in an ultimate chocolate wrestling match. Battle. It's a battle we're cooking.
When I first heard about this chocolate battle, I thought, how do I predictably sandwich peanut butter into this recipe? Then, thinking the word sandwich made me think of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I'm going to make a peanut butter and jelly chocolate tart. Tart base is where it starts. That's rubbing cubed butter and flour together to make a breadcrumby consistency.
When I heard we're doing a chocolate battle, I thought, what chocolate puddings are out there that I could recreate? And thinking of puddings made me think of Yorkshire puddings and how much I love those. So I thought, what if you can make a chocolate Yorkshire pudding? So I'm doing that with some chocolate ice cream as well. And it's going to start with the white chocolate ice cream. Get your white chocolate, melt that down in a bowl with your mascarpone cheese and some sugar. Oh yeah, and then whisk it, cling film, in a fridge. Freezer, important bit of ice cream.
When I heard we were doing the ultimate chocolate battle, I thought to myself, why don't I do something old-fashioned like fudge? And then I thought, hang on a second, I also really like an old-fashioned cocktail, and I like fudge. Why don't I do an old-fashioned fudge, but not using the... And that's why I came up with an old-fashioned cocktail fudge. And it starts with candied orange, which means I have to peel an orange and then cut it into slices and then put it into boiling water.
So while she'd been gone, I mixed some icing sugar and an egg into my pastry, brought it all together. I've cling filmed it, it's going in the fridge for half an hour.
I think Mike is an appropriate level of scared for this recipe.
And I'm not surprised, 6.5 years in, he's putting all of the skills to the test.
He is.
So like sweet pastry tart case.
That needs to be neat and perfect and no holes.
Yeah, and egg wash so it's a nice glossy shine.
Yes.
Then you've got the ganache, which is another shine again. You want that shine, you don't want to let the cream overboil, you don't want to overcook it or the chocolate's going to split.
For sure.
And then nut brittle.
Caramel, yeah, he's going to make a caramel.
Always a weakness in the studio, not just for Mike, for everybody. He's
Well,
going to have to keep an eye on it.
For Ben.
And now for my chocolate Yorkshire mix. First, the dry stuff, cocoa, flour, give that a mix. And then you want to go for your wet stuff. Milk, egg. Mix the wet stuff first before putting it in the dry stuff. So I actually can't be bothered to wash anything else up.
Right.
And then you give it a shake. They have not popped.
Mixed.
Helps if you stick a fork in.
I just thought, lots of people out there don't know what Yorkshire pudding is. It's a battery, baked, amazing thing that you just put gravy and eat meat with.
It does give people in Yorkshire something to look forward to.
Yeah, it takes their mind off the rain and the factories and stuff.
That's my batter done, and now leave that to rest for about half an hour.
So Barry is making a Yorkshire pudding.
As ever with him, he's turning it on its head. It's the sweet dessert Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah, it's super simple.
It should be. Eggs, flour, milk and Yorkshire pudding balance. A little bit of cocoa in this one. Will he take his eye off the ball and get a little bit too big for his boots and think it's all too easy and leave it all to the last minute? And will there be a panic?
This is rested.
My oranges came up to a boil, so I drained the water out of them, kept them in here. I've refilled my pan with some water, a load of sugar. I'm going to bring that up to a boil and then simmer my oranges for about 45 minutes.
Let me guess your thought process when you found out about the chocolate battle. Step one, get all of the chocolate. It's actually really lucky that what you brought for your packed lunch actually applies for this battle.
With Jamie's choice, I feel like Jamie's more of a savoury man, kind of throw it in and see. When it comes to finally weighing stuff out and a bit more precision, will he be careful enough with his fudge?
I feel like he's chosen a good recipe for that. The only thing is, will he drink all the whiskey before he gets it in the fudge?
Almost, and you know when you sort of need a little bit, and he goes, oh, a little bit more and a little bit more. Will he be reserved enough to stick to the recipe?
It's going to be difficult.
After those oranges have cooked for 45 minutes, I'm going to toss them in sugar and let them dry for an hour, and then they become these lovely candied oranges.
And now, this is the bit that I learned from James. I'm going to trim the edges, but you have to do it in a specific way. Let me refer to this. Roll your dough big enough to cover your tart tin, and once it's over, cut off the excess and press the pastry into the edges until there's no air between the tart tin and the pastry. Get rid of more excess, giving it a final press, then stab the base with a fork. So I'm going to now try and copy the James way of trimming a tart.
God, really? That...
Why?
Watch the video, this is how he does it. That was just a funny joke. I've actually lined the tart case with baking beans, which incidentally aren't wasabi peas, and now left it in the fridge to rest.
To make my fudge, I'm going to melt as much dark chocolate as I can lay my hands on. I'm going to take that off the heat, then I'm going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a whole tin of condensed milk, and then as much of this whiskey as I don't want to drink, which will be about 3 tablespoons.
Because I've got nothing really else to do, I thought I may as well heat up my skillet in the... What are you doing?
I'm just baking off my tart now that has rested for 15 minutes at 180 degrees. Thanks, mate.
Thank you, mate. I thought we were drinking fudge.
Friends.
Friends.
Friends. Oh, it's so silky.
That is nice.
It's good, isn't it?
Okay, now, enemies? Enemies.
Enemies, yeah.
Have a look at this. That is a tart case. I took it out after 15 minutes, got rid of the baking beans, egg washed it, back in for another 5 minutes, boom. And it's not crap. Yes! So now I'm gonna make a ganache. Cream, sugar, into a pan, up to the boil, chocolate, butter, ganache. And now this is where it gets good. I'm gonna layer the tart case with jam, peanut butter, the chocolate ganache, top that with peanuts and sea salt.
I'm going to put this in a fridge for an undefined amount of time.
Oh, wait a minute, that looks good.
Nice, a sexy chocolate.
It's now a chocolate battle.
Yeah, that
It's
is
on. Oh, no! Why are you wiggling your arse as well? You got it, you got it. You leave it. Step away, step away, move away.
I mean, you have got that strawberry sticking up over there.
It's really annoying me.
Just touch it, you push it back.
You can't bury it. Hey, guess what? I'm going to do something. Now, my skillet is nice and hot, in with some vegetable oil, and then back into the oven until the oil starts to bubble.
This goes into the fridge.
Now my fudge base is cooled, it's time to add the toppings. We're going to melt some more dark chocolate, spread that over the top, and then we're going to top it off with some grumbled digestive biscuits. Grumbled, that was, not crumbled. We're going to cut some cherry liqueur chocolates, spread them over the top with some chocolate chips, some cut up dime bars, and our candied orange.
Marianne, best of friends.
My boyfriend just walked into the living room during the sexies, took one look at my laptop, rolled his eyes and walked back out. I regret nothing.
I would cook up Benzigo. There's enough for the entire world.
So I think my oil is hot enough. You can tell because it's got like a little shimmer on top.
Oh, it's bubbling, mate.
Right,
That is pretty
don't,
hot.
everyone mind your faces.
What's going to happen?
Supposedly, it starts to cook, the bottom starts to crisp up, goes back in the oven, and it should start to rise and create like an upside down dome.
I thought it was going well, and then I remembered I've got to make caramel for a nut brittle.
So this is what I'm going to do. Sugar, water in a pan, heat it up. In the meantime, I'm going to blitz up some peanuts in a food processor, and then I'm going to keep an eye on my caramel mix until it goes deep golden brown and starts to smell like caramel.
Oh, dude,
It's worked! I've got a rise! That was good! That's all right. Even distribution. there, mate.
Evenly done? Just like that?
Lovely. Is it supposed to be on the nuts or next to the nuts?
A little bit on and a little bit next to, I think.
While those guys plate up in an ultimate chocolate battle, we thought we'd give you another chef table with chocolate as the theme. Jazz hands.
What doesn't go with chocolate?
I've got an answer for this. Water doesn't go with chocolate.
No, that is science.
You weren't expecting that,
I
were you?
was expecting a flavour. Water and chocolate do not mix. It seizes, game over. I was thinking more flavours.
Okay.
Like,
Go.
you've had an experience with a hot chocolate with Marmite, which I don't
Marmite
personally,
and hot
subjective.
chocolate.
Marmite and hot chocolate.
It's excellent. Excellent.
What's the difference between real chocolate and compound chocolate?
So compound chocolate has like vegetable fats and often sweeteners in it. So it's because vegetable fats are cheaper than cocoa fats and cocoa butter.
Cocoa butter,
it's
yeah.
a cheaper version of chocolate. It behaves slightly differently, and it's normally the thing you'll find in cheaper chocolate or covering cheaper chocolate bars.
Is dark chocolate better for you than white or milk?
Short answer is yes, dark chocolate is better for you than white and milk. Mainly because white and milk have loads more sugar in them.
And dairy, so sugar and dairy.
And dairy too. But yeah, dark chocolate has loads of good nutritional properties as well, so you should be eating dark chocolate, just a little bit.
Seriously though, what the heck is chocolate bloom? It sounds like some pretty flower thing.
Pretty flower things are good, especially when they bloom, but chocolate you don't really want to bloom, because that's like the white bits you get on chocolate.
Yeah, it doesn't look pretty, does it?
It's the kind of chocolate, if you've left it in the sun, then it's melted and then reset again, it has that blooming effect. It hasn't got the glossy shine, but it is still edible.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine to eat. It's just not great if you want it to look
It's just not as
lovely,
pretty as
like
a blooming flower.
Oh, we nailed that. Well, I think Ben and I mustered together a wealth of answers there, didn't we?
That is chocolate covered. However, another topic next time. You guys keep sending your questions in that you want us to answer, either in the comments down below or on Twitter.
Let's go back to the guys for plating up.
Welcome to Chocoholics Not So Anonymous.
I'm going to start with this one over here. As ever, Barry's gone a bit out of the box. So you've got dark chocolate, like a chocolate moussey ganache thing, mango. But the thing we're really judging here is the Yorkshire pudding, which is light and crispy, and even with the cocoa powder in there, which is quite difficult, it's still rose. This feels like it's a little bit of a cliche. Chocolate tart, it seems a bit obvious. However,
where he knocked me down like they do in the army, only to build me up again.
hang on, crispy bottom.
Technically fabulous.
It's so good, I want to punch it.
And then we go here. As ever,
That is so
chocolate
dense.
on chocolate on chocolate on chocolate. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I'm not a fan of whiskey. However, you know, it's not just overpowering, it's just good.
Ebbers, you've got to make a choice.
This one, I like the fact that it is different. I wouldn't have thought of it. And for that reason, it sits in a very good position, but only second to that one, which is my favourite today. That one wins. But it's not up to me entirely, because you guys get a say in it as well. Make sure you check out the poll on YouTube, give your favourite a like, and head over to Sorted Food where you get the full recipes, give them a go, and give those a like too.
I have chocolate in my heart.
Yeah, that was more chocolate than I could shake a chocolatey stick at. But if you'd like to see some more chocolate, then the winner of this battle is going to be announced on a Facebook Live on Friday the 16th of December 2016 at 12 PM UK time on our Facebook page. And the loser is probably going to have to do a forfeit of some description.
Definitely going to have to do a forfeit, so make sure you tune in for that. But that FridgeCam had everything.
It had Barry's regional references that nobody outside of the UK is going to get.
It had fudge munching.
Yes. And if you stick with us, we're going to see Ben's real temperament when it comes to chocolate.
That's happening right now on the AfterTaste on sortedfood.com. Click the link in the description and you'll be taken right there. Goodbye.
Who wants more fudge?
No more chocolate.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
I think the reasons my nipples are even bigger today is because now I've got chocolate in those two.
You've got chocolate nipples.
Chocolate nipples. Shall I go and melt another couple of 100 grams of chocolate and show you something useful with it?
Temper.